Some more add-ons I've found for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or should I say some people have recommended to me. Let's get into this video. Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to another video. Now I have to say this is probably my favourite collection of add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator in one video, so you don't want to miss out on this one. If you're new here, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I do flight training videos, flight sim videos, trip reports and a lot more, so if you love everything about aviation, you've certainly come to the right place. But now let's hop into this video. Okay, so our first add-on, if you couldn't tell, is this Bombardier CRJ. Now this model was imported from Flight Simulator X, but like with most models ported over, it does look better. And it has a working cockpit. Now sadly it is just a Flight Simulator cockpit from the Citation, so it's not too special here, but it's certainly a nice model from the outside. From my experience it flies really well, the flaps move, the engines move, which is nice, gears work, everything works how it should except from the cockpit, but it's nice to have a working cockpit. I'm not 100% sure on the sounds, they sound pretty similar to how they did in Flight Simulator X, but this is a work in progress, so we could have a proper CRJ even before the big companies get onto it, so that could be very interesting. A perfect add-on to start this video off. I do really like it, but now let's move on. And today in this video we've got 3 utilities that aren't necessarily, what is that car doing up there, that aren't necessarily aircraft or airports, but they're going to improve your overall experience. So let's hop into our first one. AI traffic doesn't look nice in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but the live traffic option is nice to have. Now you can see all around Heathrow we've got aircraft with real world liveries on, and this is because of a very good add-on. Now at the moment I'm using live traffic, so you might not see many aircraft in the sky on this video, but I've got this add-on that replaces AI offline traffic with airliners in liveries, which is very nice. This means if you don't like to have it online, you don't like to have live traffic flying around, then you're very welcome to put AI offline on and you'll have some semi-realistic airlines flying about. Now it's not perfect, I don't believe we'd have Air Cairo in an A320 at Heathrow Terminal 5, that's obviously unrealistic, but there is flight plans loaded in, so if you swap over to AI offline mode, hopefully you'll see pretty similar aircraft at the airports where they should be. Personally, I really like this add-on, it's probably one of my favourites, having real world aircraft, hopefully matching up the aircraft that's flying, does look very nice, I have to admit. I'd say this is probably one of my favourite add-ons I've actually found for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it was recommended to me by a person in the comments, so thank you for that. Now this is Neofly, and it's actually very well made, I have to admit. It's basically an application where you kind of set up your own airline, even though you don't really. You set up your own fleet with your own pilots, and then missions appear randomly around a certain location. So right now, well, I've based my Cessna out of Norwich, and you can see we've got missions all around it, including drop-offs, dropping off passengers, mail, secret packages, you can probably hazard a guess what they are, and medical supplies. Now initially I believe it was just bush aircraft, however you can see you can buy aircraft, and at Norwich Airport we can buy all the way to a King Air. Now I'm not too sure if I were to swap it over to Heathrow, would I be able to buy stuff from there? That would be pretty cool. I believe you can work all the way up to heavy jets. As you can see here we've got heavy jet qualification, which I suppose includes the 747, jet aircraft, probably the A320, Molten engine turboprop, the King Air. Works very well, I have to say. I've been doing my first missions. I did my first mission, I believe you can still see it on here, was up from Norwich Airport to this drop-off zone here. It's very fun to play around with. I highly recommend it. Okay, so Neofly is an absolutely fantastic add-on. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I need to do a lot more flights with it though. Now this is an add-on I was testing with earlier, and as you can see from, I believe it is, where is it? Landing reports. I've tested with it already. Ooh, that was not a very good landing, was it? But to be fair, it was my first test with Sim Toolkit Pro. Now, Sim Toolkit Pro has been out for a while. It was used with X-Plane 11 and Flight Simulator X, I believe, but it is really well made, and you can just tell it looks nice. Now, it's free to download, and it basically connects to your simulator and shows you loads of stuff about it. So you can see once this loads up, we'll have a map, and there we go, loaded up. We'll have a map, and this is Manchester, so you might see me, but I'm not gonna But that is me right there, I believe. Not on live multiplayer, so luckily I'm not going to intrude with anyone. But it basically shows loads of metrics from the flight simulator. Now, I personally really like it because obviously I stream, so I can use it to show my metrics on streams. It's very nice for that. But you could also use it to set up a fleet and almost have your own virtual airline. So basically you add an aircraft and then it has its home airport. And depending on where you fly this aircraft, you'll need to fly it back, of course. You can't just move the aircraft about where you want it to be, because then that won't recognise that as that same aircraft. It is very nice. It's also a very good logbook. If we go up here, you can see it takes us onto our logbook. I haven't logged any flights yet because I've only been testing around with it lately, but I will do in the future. If you really want to go hardcore with your virtual airline, then you can schedule flights and also match real world flights and airline routes. Very cool if you ask me. On top of that, you get a 5-pack of instruments, and I'm going to blur what's up here so you guys can't see what the final add-on is, because that is quite a surprise. You can see it gives you all of the fuel settings, the heading, G-force, pitch and roll. It is very nice. I do really like this add-on, probably one of my favourite. So far we've had 2 applications, an aircraft and AI air traffic. Tell me which one is your favourite so far. Personally, I do like Toolkit Pro, as well as Neofly. They're both fun, both very different applications, but weirdly similar if you get me. They both do their job absolutely fantastically, but now let's move on to my final add-on. Okay, so you guys know me, I like to put a fun add-on in every add-on video, so I thought I'd include this ADDON A380. Now, of course, it's a port from Microsoft Flight Simulator X by the looks of it, so the cockpit does look ugly, so we're going to step out here. However, surprisingly, there is some moving functions, such as the engines, the landing gear by the looks of it, and the windshield wipers. So the engines don't work, so be sure to use slew mode, but after all, it's a bit of fun. Now let's get up in the sky. Before we get up in the air, it doesn't look the best. It is very, very shiny, probably too shiny than it should be. However, it does look quite nice, I have to admit. It's of course free. Strangely, you can only download it for a Discord, so I've put the Discord link in the description. You can scroll down and find it on there. Okay, so you can see we're up in the air now. It does have wing flex, which is pretty weird, and I have to say the flight model doesn't work the best. It looks a bit like a bird right now, and you can hear the sound is off. However, you can see the landing gear does come down, which is very nice. We'll put it back up as well. There we go. It is certainly a very interesting aircraft. Just a bit of fun because I like to chuck them into the end of my add-on videos. You guys seem to enjoy them. Just don't go in the cockpit because it's not very nice. Maybe it works better on Legacy Flight Model. I haven't tried that out yet, but I'd imagine it would if it's ported from Flight Simulator X. The aircraft is actually making 0 noise right now, which is quite worrying. If you've enjoyed this top 5 add-on video, then be sure to like, comment and subscribe. We've had the ported CRJ, which is actually pretty good because it's got a fully working cockpit from the Citation, Neofly, which I highly recommend, the AI livery pack, which works very well if you've got a poor CPU. Okay, so in the midst of that, I actually switched the flight model to Legacy, and I found it works a lot better. It flies a bit more like an A380, and the wings don't wobble as much, so I recommend Legacy flight model if you want to fly the A380 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And of course, we had Toolkit Pro, and this ADDON A380, which is certainly interesting. Thanks to all my captains as always. You guys really do help me out. It really means a lot to have you guys on board. If you want to find out how to become a captain, go onto my Instagram and Discord, it's all on there. I'm going to end the video here, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. But from me today, that is all. Bye bye.